Think you would beat Itauma?
Listen, first off, I just need to get everything right. Once I'm right, 100% right, whoever I land on, I can take him out.
You have to rate Daniel. Obviously, he's a very, very, very good fighter. Obviously, to his career that he's had so far. But I feel like when me and him meet, it's going to be a different story. It's just a matter of time,
He's a fabulous young talent. He's got speed, he's got power, he's tough, he's game. He ticks all the boxes so far. So let's see, again, he's young. You know, he's not really been tested because what he's doing to these opponents. So let's see, it's early days, but big future for him.
Daniel Dubois calls out Moses Itauma, but the tone in his voice feels more like longing than certainty. He speaks of belts, honor, and unfinished legacies, yet the cracks in his journey remain visible. Across the ring of public opinion, Itauma radiates momentum and calm. A young fighter carrying himself like destiny is already his. Analysts frame Dubois as a man chasing redemption, while Moses appears every bit the heir to heavyweight supremacy.
Direction we're going to go in for this next step.
Who is next? Is Moses Itauma on the horizon?
All the guys in the heavyweight division, yeah, they're all the guy, especially the one who has the belts, and you know, if the belts fragment or whatever, stuff like that can happen. Whatever way I can become two-time heavyweight champion. That's where I'm going.
And Dubois didn't stop there. Still haunted by the Parker fight, he tried to justify himself. He declares readiness for anyone, frustration pouring through. Yet bravado often hides lingering doubt. Real contenders don't just make speeches, they earn silence from critics through undeniable performances.
I heard a lot of people saying that after the Parker thing, that I'm ducking people, but right now I just want to deck someone.
So you'll have any one of those names right now?
Hey?
I said you'll have any of those names right now?
While Dubois defended his name, Itauma's response cut sharper. Moses speaks with striking assurance, the posture of a future star. At the mention of Dubois, or even Usyk, he doesn't blink. He treats both not as dangers, but as opportunities to climb higher. Ambition flows with clarity. Every opponent is a stage to elevate his story and rewrite heavyweight history.
I would be silly not to take that, because I would end up in a better position taking that fight than if I didn't take that fight. If I win, I'm a world champion, I've smashed records, I'm a millionaire, superstar, XYZ, yeah? And if I didn't take that fight, then I've still gone and tried in my...
Even voices within Dubois' own circle began weighing in on how he compares with Itauma.
Yeah, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of...
Trainer Mark Tibbs praised Dubois' renewed confidence and growth, painting him as a natural heavyweight with dangerous upside. Yet analysts quickly countered that size and strength alone cannot offset Itauma's sharp reflexes, speed, and ring intelligence. Dubois may look revitalized, but overcoming a prodigy like Moses will demand more than brute presence.
I feel he knows, and he's grown in confidence since that. I mean, he's in a great place, Dubois, and he can win that fight. He's a big natural heavyweight.
Veteran Duke McKenzie captured the essence of Itauma's trajectory, warning that with just a few more bouts, he transforms into a wrecking ball, a force capable of breaking anyone in his way. McKenzie tempered it by admitting Usyk, for now, remains unreachable, yet that very caveat revealed the scale of mountain Moses is climbing. The message was unmistakable, his rise feels inevitable. Experience is the only missing ingredient. Already armed with timing, speed, and instinctive craft, he simply needs seasoning before storming the elite. Dubois, despite improvements in stature, carries limits. McKenzie implies Moses' ceiling is boundless. That's why many believe Dubois' challenge could become disastrous, walking headlong into the sport's next wrecking ball.
If he has the more experience on his side, Itauma,
That's it. Absolutely.
You know, another 4 or 5 fights down the line, then you're looking at an absolute wrecking ball. Then he would beat everybody put in front of him. But nobody's going to. Yeah, nobody's going to.
He said something. Who's going to give him the hands? That's what he was saying. He wanted them out.
Nobody beats Usyk right now.
Adam Smith then added his measured voice, placing Moses Itauma just outside the true elite while still claiming he could already beat most heavyweights alive. Considering his youth and limited professional outings, that observation felt staggering. Smith cautioned he may not yet be ready for the absolute top, names like Usyk or perhaps even Dubois, but stressed timing, not ability, as the deciding factor. The talent is already present, experience will turn promise into inevitability. That made Dubois's role intriguing. If he represents one of boxing's benchmarks, then facing Itauma becomes the ultimate test. For Dubois, it is about proving his worth. For Moses, it is the chance to fast-track his inevitable rise. Either way, Smith's assessment carries weight. Itauma isn't simply promising, he's already destabilizing the order.
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly AJ. The top 3 or 4, he's not ready for them yet. Could he?
And then Tyson Fury spoke. When Fury talks, the sport listens. His verdict was emphatic. Boxing belongs to the young. Legends fade, time spares no champion, and youth always prevails. In Moses, Fury sees that unstoppable energy, sharper and hungrier than older kings like Usyk, Joshua, or Zhang. His words weren't flattery, they were a brutal reality check for the division.
As someone who has been there and won every single belt, won everything there is to win in boxing, and done very well. Boxing is a young man's game. Like I told Vladimir Klitschko when he was 37. Boxing's a young man's game and it waits for nobody. So here's the opinion, you've heard it here first. Moses Itauma will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller, whoever there is who's old, Zhang, fucking whoever else there is, Luis Ortiz, all these big names of the past are all a spent force. And even
Carl Frampton delivered a balanced, almost sympathetic view of Daniel Dubois. He acknowledged improvement, noting Dubois is certainly more dangerous now than in past outings. Yet hesitation crept in. Frampton has doubted him before, pointing to inconsistency and fragility under pressure, flaws still lingering. The striking line was his mention of the genius. Though he avoided naming Moses, the implication was crystal clear. Itauma represents rare boxing intellect, instinct sharper than brute strength. Dubois may be improved, but when brilliance meets force, brilliance wins. Analysts read between those lines. Dubois remains dangerous but flawed. Itauma emerges the true genius of heavyweights.
Dubois is certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was. So he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the Fury fight.
Eddie Hearn added the promoter's caution. Timing is everything. At only 20, Moses already looks prepared, yet rushing too soon could backfire. History shows prospects derailed under weight of expectation, but Moses feels different. His maturity, composure, and hunger suggest he thrives on challenge. Fans want risk, Moses too, while Hearn preaches patience.
Or he might knock him out, I don't know, but personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing, and I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test.
That tension defines the narrative, and as Adam Smith and Tony Bellew echoed, Itauma is a puzzle.
With Moses is that his feet and his distance and his range is so good, and he's so quick that if you commit to the punches, you're going to get countered. And if you don't, you're going to get backed up and taken out. So it's a real puzzle. There's not many heavyweights that are southpaws. Obviously, Alexander Usyk is, but he's moved up into that domain.
Not just powerful, but a riddle opponents cannot solve.
But the only thing that I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant, because look what Alexander Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Alexander Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent.
For Dubois, this fight is an opportunity. It may be disaster.
Talent.
Amir Khan, having lived through the pressures of stardom at a young age, delivers a protective warning regarding Moses Itauma's trajectory for him.
You know what, but you know what, you don't want to fight Usyk. I mean, I think it's too early for that. Why are you going to spoil someone's career? I mean,